Furiosa just released a couple weeks ago. I'm hearing a lot of mixed opinions because most people who I've talked to that have seen it have loved it, but it's also being labeled as lowest box office numbers for a Memorial Day weekend, all that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've heard this time and time again. So many movies that I love tank to the box office. I can tell you why you need to see Furiosa. At the bare minimum, if nothing else, if you don't care about it, it's something different. You'll see what I mean. The way it's edited, the way that the story is told, the way they don't rely super heavily on dialogue, it's just very different. The first one is similar in that regard. It's you don't get a ton of backstory, you don't get a lot of exposition on the characters. It's just boom, Thunderdome, they throw you in action, but you still care about the characters. At least some of them, the normal characters. So was this better than Fury Road? No, I don't think anyone was expecting it to be either. And I was actually pretty critical of this film when the trailer came out. I was still excited for it, but I was more critical with why they were creating this origin story of Furiosa when they have a perfect cast of Tom Hardy. Most fun I've had in theaters in a long, long time. So things I like about it. In contrast with Fury Road, it's more about world building. Not every single scene is the whole movie is dependent on it. The stakes are high, but it takes place over years, sort of comic book-esque in that it has, chapters and everything is kind of fading, sort of fever dream. Soundtrack's not as good as Fury Road. I'll get these out of the way. All the stuff that is not on par with Fury Road, obviously the practical effects, they use a lot more CGI. The soundtrack's not quite as good, and I don't personally think Anya Taylor-Joy fits in that world really. I mean, she's 100 pounds. Can't really expect her to be tossing guys around in a desert wasteland. But she didn't do a bad job. Just kind of miscast for that. So all those categories we can settle those. Fury Road it's hard to beat, and also missing Tom Hardy was the big thing for me. That's why I was hesitant about this movie in the first place. But take all that stuff out, this movie is a blast, man. Chris Hemsworth. Might be, I know Thor is his definitive role, but this might be his best role. I mean, I was laughing in theaters. He was just every line you could tell he was worn down, weary by the end of the movie. Um, he goes from the young kind of cult leader, and then by the end, he looks like a prophet from the Middle Ages, but he's still shredded. I don't know. I don't know how these people stay shredded in the desert when they have very little sustenance. Also, I don't understand how no one dies of infection because multiple people have open stitches and wounds, which they would die of infection in a few days. I don't care about this. It's a side note. He is a caricature in this. He is off his rocker. I was just laughing in theaters when he's full black leather outfit in the hot desert and he's sprinting up this hill. I'm like, he's got to be gassed. And he has this stupid red cape that he just proceeds to wear the rest of the movie once he just looked completely like Dr. Eggman. I was just having a great time in this. There's action scenes are entertaining as all get out. Grappling hook guys with spike ball net things on their back that deploy in a parachute so you can toss grenades. I mean, it's just really creative. It's just a different approach to action than the normal, cut and dry type of action we're used to seeing. It's a hot movie. Yeah, you bring some water to it. That was my mistake. I think you need to give this movie a chance. I think it's a fitting installment and sequel or prequel to Mad Max. They need to bring back Mel Gibson though. I think that's the biggest cash grab they can go with. But other than that, man, this was a pleasant surprise because you're going in with not a ton of expectations and just sitting back and having a great time. You just wish sometimes that these films would get a little more love from be it award ceremonies or whatever. Yeah, needless to say, I gotta go see this in theaters again. To me, it was that classic adrenaline pumping style action, that sort of feeling that you get. You don't really see that often anymore because everyone's so numb to car chases and shootouts and everything. It was just something that was fresh and new. Also thought they did really well with expanding the world they were in. We got to see Gastown, we got to see the Bullet Farm. There's really no good place to go in insane world that they throw you in. That's just everyone's lost their mind. Really cool movies. You need to check it out.